Hi, everybody. I'm Greg, bioinformator on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Moxfield. So you're probably watching this video on YouTube. It's where I do my box breaks. Um, and you'll find me on Twitter, hyping up all my friends' streams that are doing magic and gaming and cosplay and art content, among other things. And I've cracked all of the Dominaria that I intend on cracking for now, unless I luck into getting some more boxes somehow. Um, and what I'm trying a little experiment here. I've collated all of my hits from across all the boxes I cracked. So I had four draft boxes and four collector boxes. And what I've done is I've pulled all the cards where my best pulled version is like around $5 or more. So I'll be showing you some version of the cards that are worth significantly less than that, but it'll build up to the version that's worth the most out of it. And I cheated a little. There's like some that are like 470 something or something like that. I kind of like arrived at a cutoff. Um, but yeah, I figured I would show you a single stream with all the good stuff. So I'm gonna get this collector box out of the way, and I am just gonna start showing you cards. So this is the little treasure token of myself that was um, commissioned by Lynn V. Frank, and Listener Elf did the art. So that was cool of them. It was kind of a thank you for all the hype stuff that I do for the Magic community. I will just set that out of the way. And yes, so this is a delicate operation. I kind of stack these cards so that I can hopefully do this in a decent manner here. So the first card is Chainer's Edict. Okay, so for Chainer's Edict, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the regular version. We have a regular foil version of it, and then we have a borderless version. 1, 2, 3, and here we have the retro border version of it. Another retro border version of it. And what allowed this to be included in this little experiment is the retro foil version of it, which is still, just sub $5 currently. The prices are in flux. So, yeah. Okay, so our next card is Turnabout. So we have a retro border version. We have a regular version. The prices I got were from TCG Player mid. It seems a little wonky to me, but that the retro borders aren't worth as much in some cases as the normal card. Maybe that's just a temporary glitch, or maybe just people on the less expensive cards don't care for the retro. But okay, here's the regular foil version of Turnabout. But here is what allowed it to be included: the retro foil version. And I just love. There's several key blue cards in this set. And the retro foil versions on them just really pops. So our next card is Damping Sphere. So these regular versions are, sub $1, I think. This is kind of giving you an idea of the frequency at which these were pulled aggregate across the boxes. And I have the retro version, the foil version, and the retro foil version of it. Our next step in the ladder is swords to plowshares. So if you're playing Commander, you have probably seen swords to plowshares at a reasonable frequency. So we have our regular versions of it, but we do have a foil version of it, and we have the retro foil version. So our next winner is Gauntlet of Power here in the retro version. But here is the borderless version of it. I was not lucky enough to pull a borderless foil version of it. But that was worth enough to be part of this ladder here. We have Nut Collector. To that. And we did pull the retro version of Nut Collector. Yes, the royal we pulled it. Overmaster. So we have a regular version. We have a retro version. And we have the foil retro version, which, you know, the color on these on the foils really pops. Having that solid-ish block of color with foil really looks cool. Okay, so we have these. They enter the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest or an island. So, yeah. So it's not as bad as a straight tap land. And this is just the regular version of it. But there is a foil. And even better is the retro foil version of it. Okay. The next spot is for Clifftop Retreat. So regular, foil. And we have retro. And we have retro foil. The next spot goes to Isolated Chapel. We have our regular versions. Here is a retro. And a second retro. And here is our retro foil. Okay. Legacy Weapon. So we've got a normal standard version. We have a pretty cool borderless version here. We have a second borderless, so we managed to pull two of that. But here is the borderless foil. Okay. This one we've only got one of. I only got one time stretch, and it was a borderless. Not a borderless foil, but still. Um, the target player takes 2 extra turns after this one. People will love you if you cast that. Oversold Cemetery. So we got one just regular, one that's a foil, regular foil. Well, we got 2, so we got 2 regular foils. But we have a borderless, a second borderless, a third, and we have a retro foil version of it. But we also have the borderless foil version of it. Okay, we're still climbing up the ladder here. Gamble. So we got borderless, and actually, if I remember correctly, we got 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 borderless versions of it, no borderless foils. And we have a single borderless birds of paradise. That's pretty cool. Okay, next one is Gemstone Mine. So here's just the basic version. Only one of those. We have a borderless. We have 1, 2 of those at least. Yeah, so then we have 3. So we got a third. Then we have retro. But more importantly, we have the borderless foil. So the borderless foil on any of the good cards tends to go for a bit more than the rest, or at least slightly more than it's between this and the retro foil sometimes, I think, but it's usually when there's a borderless available, it happens to be the one that's worth more as a foil. We have Crawl Space as a foil, standard foil. This is what it looks like in the retro frame. A second. And we do have, there we go. So there's the retro foil version of it. Okay. We have Chainer Dementia Master. So we do have the standard version, but there's also a new borderless version of it, which I happen to have 2 of. And here is the borderless foil. Okay. Wrath of God. So there's our standard version of it. 1, 2, 3. And here is the new borderless version of it. Look at the destruction. And we got 2 of that. 3 of that. And here is the retro border version of it. We have 2 of that in the retro border. But we also have the borderless foil version of it. Someone's lit a fire in his butt. Okay. And Hunting Grounds is our next spot on the list. So we've got 2 of the regular version, and there's a new borderless version, and a borderless foil version of it. Last Chance, standard, borderless, 2. We have the retro foil version of Last Chance. And, well, so these were kind of out of order. The regular retro, the non-foil retro version. And there's another foil retro of Last Chance. So we were missing out on the borderless foil version of it. I didn't pick up one of those out of the 8 total boxes that I did. Exploration. So for Exploration, all I got was standard version, but I did get 3 of it. So I didn't get to see any of the fancier versions of Exploration. Entomb in retro. The standard version of it. 2. And then here is the borderless version of it, where I have 2 of it. 2 of those. I don't have the foil version, either retro or borderless. Worldly Tutor. Okay, so we've got our regular, 2 of those. Retro border. Foil version. And borderless version, where I actually got 3 of them, but did not pull the borderless foil for Worldly Tutor. Okay, now we're climbing up to World Gorger Dragon. So here is the retro version of it. 2 of those, at least. We have this standard version of it. We have a really nice borderless version of it. And we have the retro foil version of it. So that's pretty sweet. I do not have the borderless foil version. Maze of Ith. So we've got the foil, 2 of those. Very nice borderless new art version of it. There is the retro border version of it. We've got 2 of those. There is the borderless foil version of it. Very nice. Okay, so that one kind of came out of order. Should have But we also have the retro foil version of it. So I think in this particular case, the retro won out. There are some other cases where the borderless wins out. Savin's Reclamation. So this is the standard version of it. Two of those. A foil. A retro version. And we have the retro foil version of it. So we're getting into the bigger and bigger hits here. Mystic Remora. So here's our standard, here's the standard version of Mystic Remora. So 2 at least. Here is a borderless art version of it. Here is the borderless foil. And here is the retro foil version of Mystic Remora. So that's pretty sweet. Dark Depths. Here is the foil. Got a second. Here is the borderless version of it. Here is the retro. 2. 3. So I got 3 retro versions of it. But also got a retro foil version of it. Okay, we're getting up there in value. Enlightened Tutor. So here is the standard version. So I got at least 2 of the standard version, a foil of the standard. Here is the retro version. And I think the rest of these are all the borderless version of it. So I got 1, 2, 3, oops, 4. So I got 4 of the borderless version of it. Lyra Dawnbringer. So here is the borderless version of it. And I also pulled a borderless foil version of it. That's pretty awesome. No Mercy is the next contestant here. So we have a foil version of No Mercy. A second foil version of No Mercy. A borderless version with some crazy new art on it. And a borderless foil version of No Mercy. Okay, well, what was worth more than No Mercy? It was Urza's Incubator. So here is standard foil. And we have a retro foil version of it here, and a second retro foil version of it. So two retro foil Urza's incubators. Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. So we have the regular version, the retro version, and the borderless version. Okay. Step up from Yawgmoth was Sylvan Library. I have the retro version and the borderless version. Not a foil, but Sylvan Library. Vampiric Tutor. So this is just the regular version. Here is the borderless version. And I was fortunate enough to get not only one, but two of the borderless foil versions of Vampiric Tutor. Okay, I think we're down to the two top spots, so people probably already know what these are going to be. Urza, Lord High Artificer. So I have one of the regular version, one of the borderless version, not foil, but one of the retro foil version. I mean, look at that blue foiling. That's pretty great. And blue still gets to be the star for the top spot. Force of Will. So there is a standard foil, a borderless, a second borderless, so two borderless Force of Wills, a retro Force of Will, and the grand finale is the retro foil Force of Will. I believe I got this out of although I've complained about the draft boxes, I think I got this out of a draft box. I was lucky enough for that to happen. So that's pretty awesome. So this is the value that I got out of four draft and four collector boxes. So I don't know. I haven't done the math. I was just busy trying to construct this little tower of cards for presentation. But I hope you enjoyed seeing things presented this way. I didn't feel like breaking it up into little mini pieces, and I just wanted to sort the cards, see what I got. And this is the best of what I got. And actually, you know, here's the pile. Let's see if I can get this in the screen. Yeah, so this here is the tower of rares, rares, mythics, and the rest of the retro cards of whatever rarity. So I got a big stack here that's just that, but it didn't make the cut value wise. and then I've got like a whole bunch of commons and uncommons from the box, but distilled down, this is the good stuff. So thanks for watching. Good luck with all the other stuff that you're doing. Bioinformatter, B101, an extra 0 in there. Find me on Twitter. Follow me, and you'll see my announcements for when good stuff is showing. And I'll also announce my box breaks, and link to the YouTube videos. So thank you for watching, and this is being recorded on the weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, and bye.